for you today. We have 4 panelists today and 3 presentations. I'm delighted to introduce them to you. So first up, we have Nick and Prao, and they are joining us from Chiang Mai. So welcome to Nick and Prao. Thank you for your time today. We've also got Wenutchanan from Surin province. So thank you again for joining us. And we've got Mike. Mike is joining us from Chonburi, so welcome, Mike. And I know that all of you watching are from many places too. We've also got Thanakorn from Thailand TESOL, representing Thailand TESOL. And Thanakorn will take over from me for a few minutes. If that's all right, Thanakorn, would you like to take over from me? And please introduce our webinar today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the wonderful MC Evan. Thank you for introducing me. And I am Thanakorn, representing Thailand TESOL, the organization of English language teachers in Thailand. And first of all, I would really like to thank British Council and its team members to organize this event, English Connect, Thailand TESOL for English language teachers in Thailand. So this is a really wonderful event for all Thai teachers, for teachers of English in Thailand, whether you are Thai or non-Thai. Yeah, thank you very much for that. I'm representing Thailand TESOL. I have been appointed as the Vice President of the Thailand TESOL organization. So I would really like to tell a little bit about our Thailand TESOL Association. Thailand TESOL is a professional, non-profit and non-political organization established under the patronage of Princess Kalayaniwattana Gomarong Narathiwat Ratchanakarin. And our purposes are to strengthen English language education at all levels. All levels meaning that from kindergarten, primary school, secondary school to university level, actually. And another purpose is to undertake research in the teaching of English language to speakers of other languages, actually. And also to offer scholarships and to disseminate information about English language teaching and to cooperate in appropriate ways with our groups having similar concerns. Also, Thailand TESOL is composed of volunteers all over Thailand. I mean, like teachers of English in Thailand, right? So you are all welcome to join us as our member or our working committee. Actually, we have regional affiliates located all around Thailand, from Chiang Mai to the South Songkhla, actually. And we also have international affiliations ranging from TEFL in the US and JOLT, JASET in Japan, Korea TESOL, KATE, ARAC in South Korea, blah, 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 even in Singapore. Yeah. So if you are really interested in working together in order to strengthen our English language education in Thailand, please visit our website and you can contact me directly. And our website is www.thailandtesol.org, right? And I actually would really like to encourage teachers of English in Thailand to come and join our international conference, which will happen in the next coming year, 2024, in Chiang Mai, Thailand, under the theme Reconnecting ELT Professionals for Global Sustainability. So once again, if you really want to join us, so you can visit our website. Thank you very much for today, and I will return my microphone actually to the MC. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thanakorn. That's great to hear about the conference coming up next year. That's great. Obviously, the presenters today, the panelists today, were at the last conference, which was held in Bangkok, and it was actually my first time to attend Thailand TESOL. So I had a great time, and I learned a lot, and especially I learned a lot from the panelists that we've got today. So I really hope that everybody watching learns as much as I did from the very diverse range of topics we've got. And we're going to go into the first of our 3 presentations, and a very interesting one to start off with. And we've actually got 2 panelists for the first presentation. And this is going to be from Nick and Prao. And Nick and Prao are going to talk about young learners and game-based learning. It's very interesting, and watch out for Uno, one of my favorite games, and part of their presentation. So without further ado, I will pass over to Nick and Prao. So thank you.
All right, thank you so much. And first, I would like to say hello, all educators. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sawika Suanyot. I am a graduate student from Chiang Mai University and also an English teacher at Basun Dog School, Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Hi everyone, my name is Phajeekan Harnkaew. I'm a graduate student in language education, Faculty of Education, Chiang Mai University, and right now I'm Thai language teacher to teach Thai to foreigner at the Thai language department, Faculty of Humanities, Chiang Mai University.
So the topic for us today is using game-based language learning to develop English vocabulary learning among grade 1 students. As you guys know that Thailand is one country where developing English language competence has long been considered necessary. So English language education usually starts at the ages of 3 to 4 in both public and private schools to ensure an early start for exposure to the language following the widely popular, the younger, the better belief. So teaching English as a foreign language to young learners is a classroom environment is often considered challenging for all Thai teachers because of the differences from the students' cognitive, developmental, social, affective characteristics. Vocabulary is one of the most significant components of language learning and teaching a foreign language. Okay, the younger learner can
Sorry, Nick, we couldn't hear you. Could you start again, Nick?
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
It's all right. We can hear you now.
Back. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Just now we talked about here. The younger learner can acquire the first 1,000 words, the better their prospect of obtaining a higher English level later. Instructional strategy profiling influence young learner vocabulary acquisitions. And the vocabulary learning method in Thailand focus on recitation based on quantity and test instead of the importance of vocabulary learning and learning for communication. The approach for learning vocabulary for students in the primary years who are yet to be highly enthusiastic about learning should be learning through fun activity. Next, let's talk about what we focus on. Game-based language learning is a form of learning activity that allows the learning atmosphere to be fun and exciting. So, influencing a better attitude toward the subject. And from the state problem, the researcher agreed that using game-based language learning could be another approach that help improve English vocabulary learning. Let's talk about the objective, what we study. First one, to compare student English vocabulary learning before and after learning through game-based language learning. And the second one, to study student satisfaction with the study of game-based language learning. About the participant in this study were selected by a progressive sampling method from a group of 15 obtained out of 40 first grade students.
Okay, all right, everyone. Let's have a look at our highlight today, language game series. We call it language game series, and we gave the name with Cool Kids Never Get Bored. Actually, we have 6, but because the limited of the time, we're gonna show you guys just 4. Like the first one is Spotted, the second one is Catch Me, and the third one, which is I think one of the popular board game around the world is Uno, and the last one is Fast and Fun. Let me give you a bit about detail of the game. The first one is Spotted. The topic is parts of body. How to play. How we start with the setup. We have to shuffle the cards, and so one card fades up, and the players have to try to spot one symbol or word. One card will contain like 2 words and 3 pictures. So the first player calls it out. It's like, for example, select card and then say I. That player gonna get a card, and how to win. The player with the most cards wins. The next one is Catch Me. The topic is color. There are 3 different kinds of cards. The players take turns flipping over card and tell out what they see. If they see the black text, they have to say the background of the color. But when they say the color text, they have to say the color of the text. And the special one, if they see the black word, they have to say black. Even it is the color text or black text, they have to say black. And then again, place the hand on the word card as fast as possible. And the first player with the word card wins, and the player with the most cards wins. The third one, Uno. I think this is the very popular game for the kids and adults around the world. So I applied it to the topic of food, drinks, fruits, and vegetables, like the categories. So how to play, this is the easy one. Match the same category or color of the face of card. So the winner is the player who plays the last card wins and ends the round and then play it again. The last one, we call it Fast and Fun. The topic is wild animals. I think this one is the most favorite game for my student or all students, grade 1 students, which is the most favorite one. There are 2 different kind of cards. Like the first one is the word cards, and the other one is the set of animal cards. There are 10 kinds of animals. The first step, like each player gonna take the set of animal cards. All players gonna get like 10 animal cards like that. Let me show you a bit. Okay, and then the players have to draw a word card and fetch it up to see the word or the card. For the yellow word card, they have to like make the stack from the left word to the right word. But when the player see the blue card, they have to make the stack from backward, like from the right to the leftward, and then place your place your hand on the word card as fast as possible. And especially they have to, like when they select the card, they have to say the word that they have to make the stack, like lion, monkey, bear, deer, like this. So the first player who wish the word card wins, and of course they have to like order it correctly, and the player with the most cards wins the round. We have the short video clips that when my students play the Uno.
Potato. 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 อะไรอะไรข้าวข้าวข้าวmilk water soup water ไม่ใช่มิลลิกรัมอ่ะพวกอ่ะ hamburgerว้าวว้าวโอเคเดี๋ยวบอกใช้ต่อไปโอ้ยสุดกินนะคะใครอ่ะร็อกใครอ่ะ mango string pumpkin
Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Prab. That's really interesting. And yeah, 4 wonderful games. I just wonder which game did you enjoy the most as a teacher researcher?
For me, I think fast and fun.
Oh, really? Okay. And how about Nick?
Okay, for me, I think Uno because it's quite easy for play and almost student right now they can play Uno. Even though Chinese, Thai teacher or any list, they also can play Uno.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And just lastly, what would be your top tip or your takeaway for people watching today? Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry, Prao, can you say that again?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, for us, the worst thing a kid say about homework is that it is too hard. But the worst thing a kid can say about learning vocabulary from games is that too easy. So like we recommend to all educators to try to use the language game to encourage students to learn vocabulary. Yeah, that's it.
Great. Thanks so much, Prao. Okay, so let's look at some questions. So I'm going to look at some of the questions here. Okay, so we have one question, and that's talking about maybe shy or anxious students. Does game-based learning work with students who are maybe a bit shy or a bit anxious? That's one question we've got. Nick or Prao, did you find that students who are shy or anxious also enjoyed this?
Yeah, my first time we already had the students like that. There was like introvert students. They just like to read and write, and yeah, they didn't enjoy it when they play games or work or was like talk too much with their friends. Like the first try, they asked me like teachers can we sit with my friend and just look, just an observer, because I was really shy to speak English. Here is the first time, but the second time they changed, something changed. There was like teacher, I I look at my friend and yeah, my friends always laugh. They was like get smile and like yeah, and I feel like all students were very happy with the game. So can I try it? Can I try to play it with my friends? And the second time they try to play the games with the friends, and like there was like they change, like they feel more confident to speak English, to pronounce the words, and yeah, there's like they feel like they are ready to produce language and like make a short sentence. Like they didn't they was like be shy anymore.
Yeah, and that's
That
the
for my
positive learning,
students.
a positive learning environment, and yeah, making them forget shyness and so on.
Sometimes they sorry, sometimes like when the student they got the wrong answer, it was like they didn't care because their friends were like, it's okay, try next time. We have like the next round you try it again like this. And there was like they always says to their friend like, don't give up, try again, you can do it. Like
that's such an important message, resilience and such an early age. That's great, really great and really important. We've got so many questions. I don't know if we can ask them all. I'll maybe ask some at the end. But looking at the integrated skills approach, does this help with listening? What do you think?
yes, of course, because when the students listen to their friends, like they like improve their learning both with like listening and speaking. And also like after, when the students they know more vocabulary and feel more confident to speak English. I always like let them try to make a short sentence from the word that they have learned.
Okay.
So
really,
like both speaking and listening.
Great. Yeah, we've got more questions, but we don't have much time, so we'll have to move on. But hopefully, I can ask them at the end. So now we are going to move away from Chiang Mai, and we're going to go to Surin Province, where we have Wenutchanan. So welcome, Wenutchanan. Thanks so much for your time today. And we've got a really interesting presentation on strategy, which I'm really excited to hear about, and I hope you are all too. So again, without further ado, over to Wenutchanan.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce myself first. My name is Wenutchanan Runtorn. I am English teacher at Krathiem Vitya School, Surin Province. I'm now graduate student in ELT at Buriram Ratchapat University. So please show my screen. Okay. Okay, so before we talk about my topic today, I want to talk about the general background about reading skill for Thai student. It's very difficult. For today, I want to share the idea how to use the technique to help our students to be good at reading comprehension. The topic is the effect of using SQ6R on reading comprehension of Thai secondary school student. Okay, there are 4 parts in my presentation. First, about the background. Okay, next, background. Yes. Okay, most students can read and catch the topic and main idea. They are not able to spell and give the meanings of words because the lacking of opportunities to use English in their everyday life, and they may not have effective reading strategies. The teacher would like to encourage grade 7 students to apply SQ6R strategy with reading and expect to see an improvement in reading comprehension scores. This strategy has a crucial role in reading text in content areas. There are 8 steps of the SQ6R: survey, question, read, reflect, review, rehash, rethink, and re-evaluate to encourage students in active reading comprehension. Next. Okay, the purposes of the study. The purposes of the study are as follows. Next. First, to study the efficiency of lesson plans using SQ6R to enhance reading comprehension of grade 7 students. Second, to compare student learning achievement before and after learning by using SQ6R. And third, to investigate student satisfaction toward SQ6R strategy. But for me, indeed, I want to make reading comprehension to be active reading for the student. Yeah, next. Okay, for the methodology of the topic. So first, start with population and samples. The population and samples is 30 grade students, Krathiamriya School, Surin Province. Next. Yeah. Teaching instrument are as follows. First, the lesson plans. Second, English reading comprehension achievement test. And third, satisfaction questionnaire. Next. Okay, theory. To do with this study, I used multiple intelligence for test my student. And before I teach with this technique, I already know what is my student multiple intelligence. Next. Next, please. Okay, so this is the result. So I already know the background knowledge and know about my student multiple intelligence first. And then I will use the technique with my student. Next. Okay, at first I planning. So for my planning, I plan with activity-based learning. Next. Okay, this is a step of SQ6R. There are 8 steps that I tell you at the first part. Survey, question. R1 is read, R2 reflect, R2 R3 review, R4 rehash, R5 rethink, and R6 is re-evaluate. Next. Okay, so this is the reading comprehension activity learning SQ6R that I designed for my student. I design with the background knowledge of my student. If they study the reading passage that they already know about the background knowledge, just as the food, the place of the province, so they are. It is the motivating thing to make the student want to know about the passage because they read and they understand in Thai version first and in Thai knowledge first. So this is an example. Amazing pairs, amazing people. Okay, next. Amazing foods, amazing festival. So I focus on Surin province because my student is like a Cambodian and Korean student. They don't know English too much. So I want them to happy to study with my reading activity. So I choose this one, Amazing Surin, to keep the activity for them. Next. Yeah. So as I tell all of you that I use activity-based learning on, it is an example on Amazing Festival. I give the passage, I give them p-test and do like the activity with each topic. Next. Okay, so for learning management, active-based learning, I design my learning design with active learning first and develop to be active reading because reading is, I think the student is so boring with them. So I make it active, just like the other active activity, but I want to make my student active in reading activity. Next. Next, please. Okay, so for about learning techniques, so I use the technique like I use the media both on-site and online for my student, because if we give the assignment online, it makes the student can do everywhere, every time that they want. Even though we can control about the activity, just like in the class, but we can control about the time, and we can follow the step that of SQ6R technique too. So we give many media because sometimes the student cannot study in class, they can study outside and up to them. Okay, so next. Okay, this is like an example. For example, just like if I focus on Amazing Festival of Surin, so I give the activity first, agree and disagree statement when the student read the passage, and then they can give the opinion, agree or disagree, like this. Next. The activity about card sort and gallery walk, this is example. Next. Okay, so this is the step of SQ6R. Okay, just like example, focus on festival, like first survey, they have to read about the festival of Surin, survey first, and then they think about the question that what they want to know or what they get from the passage, and then they read the passage with the process of read R1 and R2. They rewrite again. Okay, next. Yeah. After that, they review their knowledge, individual or in group in front of the class. And then rehearse, it means that the student think about the new sentence from the passage that they have to study. And the next step is they think again what they get and what new knowledge that they get from the passage. And the last one is re-evaluate. It means that we have to conclusion for the student in front of the class or in group or in pair up to the time. So from this technique, I focus that my students are happy to learn and can follow SQ6R process very well. Next. Okay, we can use the information from this technique to develop our next learning. Next, please. Okay, we use the P-test and PO-test score. We use student satisfaction questionnaire towards SQ6R strategy. We use additional opinion data to develop the next learning. Yeah. Next. Okay, for conclusion. Next. Okay, the student learning achievement of SQ6R strategy had efficiency because it can improve students' reading comprehension after learning. Using SQ6R strategy is an effective way for using to improve reading comprehension. The students' reading comprehension and students' positive satisfaction towards the SQ6R strategy in the classroom could affect the development of the reading ability of the students. Next. Okay, if the other teacher, when you use this technique in your class, the suggestion for the future learning, they are as follows. First, the teacher should integrate the writing skill in post-reading stage after they do the mapping, and then let them summarize the passage by writing to also improve their writing skill too. Second, the teacher should compare the effect of SQ6R strategy with the other approaches in order to find out which one provides more advantage for teaching reading comprehension. And third, further study should be conducted to investigate whether the SQ6R affects other language skills, speaking and writing. Next. The successful from using this technique, I began my BBB class. What are BBB classroom? Next. Okay, balance, bright, and race. It means that the teacher can give the activity to balance between the clever student, medium student, and weak students. And the teacher can discover the bright student, and we can support the best student in a higher successful. This is I get from this technique, you know. So for me, to finish, because the time is too short for me, so I can brief my study and share to you. I want to give all of the teacher or of the audience today that active teacher can create active activities, inspire the active students, and make completely active learning classroom, even though it's very difficult skill just like reading. So, okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Wenutchanan. Really interesting. Yeah, SQ6R. We have, again, many questions. I think you gave us your top tip and your takeaway there, yeah? Active teachers equals active students. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I've got that right. Good. Anyway, we've got loads of questions again, and we'll try and get some of them. And I'm sorry if I don't ask all of them. But one question was, did the students, so you've got materials on Surin province there, and they look, you know, tailored and bespoke materials. Did the students help create those?
Pardon? Again?
So did the students help create the materials? So you've got quite a lot of materials on Surin province and a lot of topics. Did students help to produce those?
Yes, of course. You know, because the teacher is not Surin people. I come from Thai. I teach here for 20 years, you know. So I don't know, at first I don't know all of the knowledge about Surin province. But the person who helped me to do the material, of course, my student, you know. I will give like the poll, what is the topic that the student interested in about their province, about their village. So I will choose the interested one to match with my student, because I love to study in English like this. So my student helped me a lot. Yes.
Yeah, and that's a great way for students to get really engaged and active, which is part of your presentation. Another question. So did you use SQ6R with all of the units or topics all semester long? So it's quite a strategy. Did you do this all the time or just once?
Okay, of course, because we have already our curriculum, you know. But if we should use this one all of the term is impossible. But we have to focus on the interested one that the student want to study, or the teacher think that is matched with the student in a semester, you know. So we cannot use all of them in one semester, but we can give each other, you know, give like not full step of them. We can choose just only the topic to match with our time, you know, or maybe that match with that situation for some. So just for example, if Surin have like a elephant roundup, this is a big festival in Surin. So this is matched with the situation. We choose this topic for the student. This is fine.
Got it. Okay, and we've got more questions, but again, we've got not so much time. So what I'll do is I'll try and ask some questions at the end instead, Wenutchanan, but thank you so much for that. Really interesting. I have a question myself, actually, so I'm going to jump in. Read, reflect, review, rehash, rethink, reevaluate. Which was the most difficult for students? Which R is the most difficult, do you think?
For my student, grade 7 student, I think the difficult step or the hard one is like a reflect, because they cannot speak well. You know, if they give the word to reflect by speaking, it's very difficult to them. But I solve this problem by give them to reflect by writing. It means that they can practice their writing too. Write down what they have learned from the passage, write down what they have learned from the topic. This one is, I think this is very hard for them, but I can solve this problem by make it easier. It's make them not try to reflect what they get from the topic that they have learned. This is one.
Yeah, and it's great they get a chance to reflect. You know, it's such an important moment for students and for teachers to know students' thinking. So great. Okay, thank you for that. we are now going to move on. And we are going to go to Chonburi, and we're going to meet Mike, who's been waiting patiently for us. So thank you, Mike. I hope you are ready, because we are going to look at English accents. And this is interesting. Of course, we all have an accent. I'm speaking with a Scottish accent. I'm from the north, the Highlands of Scotland. So I have quite a distinguishable accent, I think. Mike, can you tell us a bit more about English accents and students and teachers, please?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I will share my slide here. Can you see my slide now?
Yep, we can see.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Aran Sahrai. I am an English teacher at Botong Wongchan Vidya School and also a master's student in English for Communications program, Burapha University. Today, I will share a part of my study, which is related to the issue of accents. As a language teacher, I'm quite sure that some of your students, including my student, might be struggling with English accent. So today we will find out how students think about different accents of English, and I hope that you can learn something from my presentation today. My study entitled "With Attitude Toward English Accent, a case study of Thai student and teacher in a Thai school." I will begin my presentation with the term accent, what an accent means in my study. Accents mean the distinctive modes of pronunciations of a language associated with speaker, region, and social group. Accents, including English accents, vary depending on geographical area and social group. In terms of geographical area, for example, in Asian regions, we have Thai accent as I am speaking to you right now. We also have a Filipino, Chinese, Vietnamese, and other accents. People who come from different social class also speak with different accents. For example, the received pronunciation of RP is believed to be spoken by people in high social class, while Cockney is spoken by people in working class. Apart from variety of English accent that can occur across speakers from different communities, accent can vary within a single speaker. For example, Uncle Roger, he can speak with his own accent when giving an interview. And he also speaks with Malaysian or Chinese accent when he contains a character of Uncle Roger for a comedian character. Even what we believe as native speaker, for example, in England, there are a wide variety of English accents. Mancunian is spoken in Manchester and Scout is spoken in Liverpool. Therefore, variety of accent is a common phenomenon when English is used the medium of intercultural communications. In this phenomenon, English is used as a lingua franca. In the notions of English as a lingua franca, English functions as a contact language among speakers who come from different first languages, including native speaker. Therefore, any speaker who use English as a lingua franca are unavoidable to encounter with variety of English accents, including Thai accents. So it's right a question on how my students perceive different accents of English when it functions as a lingua franca. So my research questions aim to investigate Thai student attitude toward different English accents and their awareness of English as a lingua franca. But based on limited time of presentation today, I will present the finding which were found from Thai students only in the research question 1. The participant of my study is 123 Thai students in grade 12 in a Thai public school. My study was conducted by employing mixed method approach. In quantitative phase, the data were collected by a questionnaire adopted from verbal guide technique. Basically, students will listen to the audio recording of 6 different accents of English and then rate their preference on accent by accent. Followed up by the qualitative phase. In qualitative phase, the data were collected by a semi-structured interview. So I will start with the finding from sub-research questions. Number 1, Thai student attitude toward native speaker accents. The result from the questionnaire revealed that Thai students show their preference on native speaker accent, especially American accents. And the result from the questionnaire revealed that the first theme, Thai students view native speaker as the model of pronunciations. And the second theme is that Thai students believe that the owners of English are native speaker. I leave you for a moment to see what students say with the red highlight. Okay, moving to sub-research question number 2, attitude toward Asian accent. The result from a questionnaire reveals that in overview, Thai students show their moderate of attitude on Asian accents, but only Filipino accent was rated with favorable degree of attitude, while Indian was rated with the lowest mean score, but it's still in moderate degree of attitude. The result from the interview sections review that the first theme is Asian accents are easy to understand for students. And the second theme is Asian accents are also acceptable. I'll leave you for a moment again to read what students say. Okay, now move to the question regarding to student-owned accent, which I think this is the highlight of my study. The percentage of the majority of students express that they expect unfavorable degree of their own accents of English, especially in terms of confidence. They are not confident with their own accent, and in terms of pride of accent, in terms of understanding, communication correctness, even accent judgment as well. The result from the interview sections reveal that the first theme is their Thai accent is a deficient accent. Like one student said, my accent is completely bad because my accent is absolutely Thai. The second theme is Thai students are not confident with their own accent. Like they said, I'm not confident with my accent, and they're concerned that their accent is good enough. The third theme is their accent are being judged. As one student said, as I experienced by myself, I speak with an accent which is not good enough. Then Thai people bully over my accent. So they want to speak like a native speaker, you know, because when they speak with Thai accent, you know, they peer, or especially in the worst case, it might be that teacher that they criticize on their accents. However, the first theme that we can see that students see their own accent in a negative reviews. However, they also provided a positive theme, which is the fourth theme. Their accents are communicable. Like one student said that there is no problem, in my opinion, in communication. If we can understand each other, it means successful. So the key finding of my study, first of all, native speaker accent are the most favorable, and we are the model of pronunciations. And native speaker are believed to be the owner of English. The second one, even though Asian accent are less favorable than native speaker accent, they are understandable and acceptable. Thirdly, although Thai student English accent seem to be negatively viewed as deficient, unconfident, and being judged, their accents are communicable. In conclusion, the result of my study would be useful to promote the acceptance of variety of English accents. And in terms of pedagogical implications, how Thai students perceive variety of English accent can change teaching activity to enhance the awareness of English as a lingua franca. Here's work cited on my presentation today. And I'll thank you, my advisors, Dr. Sujapan Tanti Niranat. And if you want to learn more about my work, please contact me through email. And to close my presentation today, I would say that we all can communicate with our own accent to serve our own purpose as a legitimate user of English. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mike, for another very interesting presentation. So we've had 3 very interesting presentations from our 4 panelists today. Again, we're going to have lots of questions and comments coming in. So I think the first one we'll go to is about American accents. Mike, so when they talked about native speakers, American accents were viewed more positively than British accents.
Yes.
Yeah. Was there any kind of reason why, or did you find out?
Okay. Okay. Some students provide the reason why they choose American accent, because I mean, compare between American accent and British accent. This student says that British accent is quite complicated. It's sound difficult for them to understand that American accent, and they also familiar with American accent. I think it might come from, you know, our teaching, which is dominated by American norm, I think.
Yeah, I think you know, that is a very kind of common thing in listening materials. I think I'll ask who will I ask? Wenutchanan, in listening materials in your class, are these American accents when your school and teachers use listening? Is it an American accent or a British accent?
For me, my school, the student not like to understand more about like the accent, you know, so they cannot classify because the background of English knowledge is quite very low. But for me, almost I use like American accents more than British.
It's okay. So that seems to be a finding. Okay, there's an interesting comment in the chat about Google, so do go to the chat at the same time. I'll ask now, Panakorn, do you mind? I'd like to ask you, because you've got a background in intercultural competence as well. So how was that presentation for you?
They're all 3 presentations, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Actually, I could find the theme of the first 2 presentations. They all talk about the activity-based and game-based learning. I believe that nowadays we need to kind of English teacher need to be kind of facilitator, manager of the classroom. We need to manage the classroom, right, in order to facilitate student learning. So I think active learning approach as one of the things that we need to consider. So we have a lot of like base approach, like game-based learning, activity-based learning, task-based learning. So I believe in this, and I enjoy listening to both presentation. And another presentation by Ajahn Mike, one of my colleagues did a lot of research about native and non-native accents, and I quite think that nowadays we have the ideas of English as a lingua franca, world Englishes or global Englishes. We don't mind much about accent, but how can we pull our students or even parents of our Thai students who learn English to go over standard accent, I mean like native speaker like accent, things like that. So we use English to communicate once your communication is successful, I believe that you are successful in terms of communication. But if you can adopt or imitate the accent, that would be nice for you, right? Yeah. So I totally enjoy this 3 presentation, and thanks to 4 of the presenter. You did a very good job at the 42nd Thailand TESOL International Conference. Actually, I have heard about that from British Council staff and also our Thailand TESOL staff about this. Thank you very much to the 3 presenters. You are very well done today. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanako. And yeah, great comments here. We keep getting a lot of comments and questions, and I'm not going to be able to ask them all. I'm very sorry, but I'll try and get some of them. We've got a lot of agreement, Tanako, so a lot of people agreeing with you there.
Thank you.
And I think, do you fix your students on British or American accents, or both acceptable? That's an interesting question. You know, do you encourage students to kind of mimic an American or British accent, or not? Mike, what would you say? Should we be saying, you know, try and copy an American accent, or not?
Personally, I think if any speaker, I mean, including our student, if they want to speak like native speakers, it's okay. If you want to be like a native speaker, but the point is that I want to say that we should be more general or more generous for the other accents in terms of acceptance, and don't judge other people on accents, because the functions of language is communicate. It's not just other people, and be confident in your own accent as the member of world community, that they can make acceptable form and they can communicate with your own accents.
Absolutely, I totally agree. You know, it's about and your research showed that. I really like the comment from that student in green who said, you know, it's about you know, communication and being understood, and that is absolutely the key. So that's really, and English as a lingua franca, really interesting. So we've got a comment saying that they use British materials in their classes. So it does vary, but again, I think it's valuing, Mike, is that right? Value, and it's so important for learners to feel like, you know, they're valued and that the language belongs to them as much as anybody. It doesn't belong to English.
Even can I say something about the accent and also the language? I actually once you learn the language, for sure you learn its culture too. So accent is kind of like the sub element of the language, right? So I think if you want to really focus on the accent, that's fine. But why don't you just like move a bit away from accent to kind of like to learn the cultures too? So in reality, we know that if you have the idea of a gradual circle of English speaker, things like that, we know that non-native speaker outnumber native speaker actually, right? So in reality, in multicultural companies, in the how do you say, the workforce in the market, we will see people speaking English, with like Singaporean accent, Thai accent. Even in my like Singapore University, in my office, so we have a lot of Japanese and Indian and Korean housewives speaking English in my area actually. So we rarely see American and British coming to us and talk to us. So this could be kind of one thing that you can talk to your student, how to use it in daily life. Thank you. Yeah,
that's right. And just to go very quickly before we move on to Nick and Prao. So we have more questions again on your presentation, but talking about the younger learners and their vocabulary. Do you think for young learners it's very important just to feel that they you know, can speak English through the vocabulary, and that's a great start for them, just to produce the language and not worry about accents?
Yes, because some of my students, they are minorities. So some words, of course, they cannot pronounce it correctly. It's some words they pronounce but not clear. So like I always tell them like just speak, just try to speak it, and you know you will get better and better, and like your pronunciation will be better later when they like study more and practice more like this. And just don't worry, just keep it
Yeah.
like say the word correctly, pronounce it correctly. It's okay, don't worry about the accent. Yeah.
And that's our job, isn't it? Supporting and reassuring as well along the way. We are running out of time very sadly, but I've really enjoyed it, and I hope everybody watching has. Just before we go, I'd just like to say a last thank you very much to our panelists today, Nick and Prao, Wenutchanan and Mike. Thank you so much. Also to Tanakon. But before you go, I would like to remind you that we do have a survey that we'd really like you to complete. So we're going to give you the details just now. And there's a QR code. We'd love to hear your comments. As I said, this is the first webinar of 2023. The next webinar we'd like to shape for you. So if you could help us by giving us your feedback, we'd really appreciate that. And I'm sure the speakers would too. And then also, if you do complete and give us your feedback, you'll get a certificate, which is a great reason to make sure you access this QR code and give us your thoughts. So I'll give you a second there. Please do just access that. Okay, and yeah, as I said, certificates, yeah, we got a question in the chat. Do we get a certificate? Yes, you do, if you help us by giving your feedback. So do give us quick comments. So there's my contact. If you've got any questions or comments, or you'd like to get in touch, please feel free. But the last thanks go to you watching. I really hope it's been useful. And thank you so much for your time. And we look forward to our next webinar with you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.